Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to deploy a website to AWS using an S3 bucket with static website hosting. Here's the website that I'm going to deploy. It's just a simple React app with React Router and a few different paths underneath of it. I'll start off by opening up S3 in the console. The first thing that we need to do is create a bucket. So I'll click Create Bucket. And for the configurations, I'm going to leave the region as US East 1 and leave it as a general purpose bucket. For bucket name, I'll call it tutorial bucket beta to prod. You just need to make sure that your bucket name is unique among all buckets. For object ownership, we'll do ACLs disabled. And then we have to turn off the block all public access setting. Now, this isn't actually going to allow anyone to be able to read from it yet, but we do need to turn this off so when we change the bucket policy later, people can actually access it. I'll click Acknowledge here. For bucket versioning, I'll leave it as disabled, and I'm also going to skip adding any tags. I'll leave server-side encryption and click Create Bucket. Sweet. So once the bucket's created, you can open it up. And the next thing that we need to set are the permissions. So I'll go to the permissions tab and then edit the bucket policy. Here's the policy that we want to use. The only thing that you're going to need to update here is the bucket name. So I'll copy the bucket name from the ARN and just replace this. What this policy is doing is it's giving the effective allow for the principal star, so any principal, the action of S3 get object. And this allows you to get an object from the bucket. And the resource is the bucket / star. And this is really important because if you don't have this / star, it's only going to allow objects at the root level, but we need to let anyone get an object from any path or folder within the bucket. So once that's set, you can click Save Changes. And then I'll come over to the Properties tab. The next thing that I have to configure are the settings for the static website hosting. So under static website hosting, I'll click Edit, and then I'll enable it. For hosting type, we want to set it as host a static website, and then update the index document to index.html. What this is going to do is this is going to point any requests to the website to the index.html page, which will load our React app. The second thing we need to set is the error document. And this is really important, especially if you're using React Router. I'll put this as index.html. What's going to happen is when someone loads your website and goes to a specific path. So for example, in mine, if I go to like /items, we don't actually want to access the items file within the bucket. That doesn't actually exist. We want React Router to handle any path and then route it to the correct page. What you do is you set this as index.html, and when someone accesses the /index page, it's actually going to load as an error, and then it's going to pass it back to the index.html page, and React Router will correctly load the right page. For redirection rules, you don't need to add anything there, and then you can just click Save Changes. Finally, we just need to upload the objects to the bucket, and then it's good to go. So I've already built it, and you can see under the dist folder, all the assets are currently there. So I'll just copy them into the bucket by dragging and dropping, and then click Upload. Okay, I'll close out the upload page and go back to the Properties tab. Back at the static website hosting section, you can see there is a website endpoint. I'll open this up at a new tab, and you can see that the website loads. And I can also go to a path like items/5. And it loads the right page. So the only thing is you're probably looking at it, the website endpoint is going to be your bucket name.s3 website usd1.amazonaws.com. And it's also not going to be using a secure connection. So I have another video that shows you how to use a custom domain name from Route 53 with a free certificate from AWS Certificate Manager to put this at your own domain and have an HTTPS connection. So I've linked that video below, but if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks.